Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Patch Day, the video game podcast, where we talk about video game news, rumors, and all the stuff that happens on the internet. It is a dark place. You need someone to lead you through it. We're here. You've got Cavo, that's me, and you've got AJ9 Lives, that's him. Hello.
Forgot to unmute. Salutations, and how you guys doing?
I forgot to tell you.
Clearly professionals.
I picked up someone last night who had a fedora on. Look at Timmy's! Oh, audio listeners, you could not see it, but his face was priceless. He's like, ah! Yes, I found someone who had a fedora on. I didn't say anything, but I saw that he had it on. I was like, oh, there's his fedora! No, I'm kidding. The guy stole it.
He stole it. Yep.
Took it
That's
right
out.
out.
I got spares.
Yeah, you got spares
I
everywhere.
I do actually have more than one.
It's like spare parts to an auto store. He's got a bunch in the back. So, anyways, AJ, what have you been playing this week? What's going on?
Been playing that WoW. I've been not bothered to do Mythic progression. It's like Mythic is 20-man, right? And you get guilted by your guild, like, oh, we got 19 people online. AJ, come on, we just need one more person. And you can't say no to that, because you are the difference between Mythic progression and stagnation. So, of course, I hopped on, and after an hour, I was like, fuck you guys, I'm out. But it was... No, because, like, we're not a Mythic guild. We're not. We're a heroic guild. Like, within, 2 weeks or so, we clear heroic, or a couple weeks we clear heroic. We farm that steadily, and then we dibble-dabble in some Mythic. Right. We're 2. We're World Breaker and Mythic Doggies down. We've almost got ENR. I find it funny we're struggling more on ENR than the dogs. That's fucking hilarious to me.
Well, didn't they add a new mechanic in the ENR fight for Mythic?
If you can believe it, there's actually quite a bit of coordination that goes in the Mythic ANR. Basically, there's, you know how she, kills everything, her little burst of life thing, 4 times? Well, before that, or during... those intermissions, you have to grab a crystal that shoots you onto the ship that's shooting down at you. You got to kill an ad, grab some crystals, and hop out within a certain amount of time to prevent raid wipes and stuff like that from happening.
Wait, so you're saying he has to grab a crystal?
Crystal. Oh my god.
Where are you, Gooch, for that? Damn.
I mean, hey, 2 years from now, when the 1% goes into Mythic and Taurus, Gooch is gonna...
That's shade right there. That's shade right there. What the hell?
I'm kidding. Hey, I'm wiping on it. I'm wiping on Mythic ANR. I'm not throwing shade, but love you guys.
Oh, jeez.
Wipes on Freya trash. Love you guys. But
hey, we have fun when we wipe, okay?
No, we do. And honestly, raiding with you guys was some of the most fun I've had in a long time. You gotta relax and have fun sometimes. It is a game. You do have to have fun. I'm not throwing actual shade. I'm having fun.
Also, having fun while you wipe is also Cottonelle's catchphrase. Anyways, so I have been playing World of Warcraft. Shut up. All right, so I've been playing World of Warcraft a little bit this week too, not too much. I haven't really done too many gaming this week, just because I've been working most this week. Outside of because I had a week and a half off from any kind of work, so I've been Ubering all week this week. And culminating in last night, I was doing some Ubering, where I found the AJ fedora. But I did get to play a little bit of Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Still freaking love that game. It's a lot of fun to play. A lot of fun to talk to your streamers with, as a pirate. That's always fun. Speaking of pirates, we also tried out the Sea of Thieves stress test, the second one that happened this weekend. Riggs was there, Orgoth was there, I was there. Velvet came in as well to play a little bit. That was a lot of fun. We got some griefers on us, where they were constantly trying to destroy our ship, but they also were terrible players, so we were able to kill them pretty quickly. They just kept coming back though. It was annoying. And then we did do Antorus raid for Friday night. We did clear 4, 5, 6 bosses in a row. It was normal, but we're not a serious raid. It was a fun raid. It was a lot of fun. But the big thing I did this weekend was I was not reminded of this until Saturday morning, literally 15 minutes before this is going live. There was a community day for Pokemon Go on Saturday. This is the second community day they did. So community day is where they pick 3 or 4 hours. It's not really a day. It's just community time, whatever. Where they you can get a Pokemon that has either a special move or a special something about it. All right, so the first community day they did was a Pikachu that if you caught had the move Surf in it. So if you remember in Pokemon, Surf is a very powerful water move that
Mm-hmm.
also allowed you to swim around the map in Pokemon. And you also had a chance to get shiny Pikachus as well, which are just like oranger color Pikachus is what they were. Now, this weekend, they had a Dratini community event. Dratini is the first evolution in the Dragonite evolution cycle, and it is a very rare Pokemon to find. It appears every now and then on the nests and such, but it's pretty hard to find. And these things were popping up like crazy. At one point, I went to a restaurant right before the event ended. There were 7 that popped up right away. 7.
7.
Yeah. So yeah, you get
Wow.
a bunch of these Ratinis that. Oh shoot. Hold on. Let me turn down the brightness again because that was apparently too bright. But yeah, so you get all the Dratinis that pop up. But what was more important and what was the happiest feeling I felt was. Oh crap! It's still too bright. I can't show this stuff off at all. Okay, I think I got it now. Was that I got a shiny Dratini? It's pink. It's beautiful. It sparkles when you catch it too. It's amazing.
it's
It's
it
so great.
sparkles when you
I
catch
got.
it. See, now that's the priority. It sparkles when you
Mhm.
catch it.
Now this
I'll just
one,
link this. I'll just link it in chat because you put a screenshot in the Discord earlier.
yeah, there it is right there. The Pikachu that, or not Pikachu. So that was the second shiny I caught that day, but I only caught. That's the first time I ever caught a shiny was in Pokemon Go. I never caught one in the actual game. I never caught one. No, I never have at
Neither
all.
have I. I
So
got a friend to hack them in for me.
but because I got 2 and because I caught like 86 Dratinis yesterday, which is ridiculous. Not only was I able to catch and evolve a few Dragonites, I actually evolved the better shiny into a green Dragonite. So as you can see on stream, it
Nice.
looks very clear on stream now. So that is what the Dragonite looks like in its shiny form. It is a kind of crappy Dragonite though, but it's not the it is actually a little better than the one I other caught. It's extra small. It's only 77 kilograms, whereas the best one I have is literally like 200 kilograms.
He's a monster.
Hey, he likes his Wheaties. So,
Don't forget your Wheaties, boys.
but it was a lot of fun to do. I got to go around. I actually got to walk through the park. I got my exercise for the day. So, and I feel a lot more refreshed today from it. So I feel happy. And I'm probably going to ruin it in a little bit because I'm ordering Chinese soon. Anyways, but that was a lot of fun. And so whenever the community days happen, guys, if you ever interested in coming into Pokemon Go, um, find a Discord group in your community because they're everywhere. There's a Murfreesboro group that lives that where I live, and they post raids all the time that you can go to, including like where rare spawns are. So just search your city if they're in the area. I know Jersey's going to have a lot of them for you, and New York City probably has like 20. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, just take a look at it. It's a lot of fun. It is. I mean, if you are like very tempted, there is like some like things you can buy on there, but you don't have to. So that's the biggest thing. Anyways, that's what we've been playing this week. Now we're gonna start off with Overwatch today. Over
Yay, the game that most
what?
assault.
Say that one more time. You cut out.
I said the game that everyone's given up on due to the salt, but enjoys watching in the Overwatch League.
Oh yes, it's a lot of fun to watch an Overwatch League. Actually, we'll start with that with the Overwatch League stuff. So as you all know, Overwatch League skins are now available in Overwatch itself. You can purchase them by it is 100 tokens for each skin. If you want the entire collection of heroes for that team, you have to pay 2,700 or 2,600 tokens in total, which is roughly equivalent to $100. But they are adding new ways for you to actually earn these skins now, which, to coincide with the launch of Overwatch League in January, Blizzard released a bunch of those skins. But unlike any other skin in the game, they can only be obtained by purchasing them. The arrangement meant to generate revenue that could be shared with the teams. Twitch, who owns the broadcast rights to Overwatch League, has partnered with Blizzard to reward League viewers with Overwatch tokens. This is a new type of currency that has been introduced along with the League skins. We already know about this. $5 equals 100 tokens that you can purchase. Now, watching Overwatch League won't get you any skins in a hurry, though. For every map you watch, any live map finish that you view, you get 1 token added to your bank. Now, granted, if you watch all 12 maps for that week, it's only 12 tokens that you get. However, watching the end of the final match during the live broadcast will enter you into a running to win 100 tokens that Twitch will reward to a percentage of viewers randomly. So, if you watch the live maps and you watch the final map of the day and all that, you get entered in. This is only available for US, UK, Canada, Argentina, Chile, Denmark, France, Germany, New Zealand, Norway, Saudi Arabia, South Korea, blah 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 blah. Pretty much everywhere except Russia. Um, they're available on PC, PS4, Xbox One for all you guys. And just link up your Battle.net account to your Twitch account. It'll automatically be added into the game for you so that you can get your away or home jerseys. The away jerseys are still not available in game. And yeah, so I will still say I do love the most of the home jerseys. There are still some away jerseys I want to get just because of the certain color schemes that they actually do. So yeah, but I will say that if you're wanting to get an away jersey for yourself to actually wear, they are now available on the website. So you can actually get away jerseys now for the Overwatch League teams. So there's home and away. And courtesy of Rigsby, I am getting a Houston Outlaws Muma jersey in the mail soon. So
Nice.
thank you for that, Riggs. Have you uh kept track or have you watched any of the matches yet at all or not yet? Is that a no?
No, I have not,
Oh,
unfortunately.
you really should. It's actually really entertaining to watch. There was just to go into detail. This last week, I've told you about the sick plays that have been going on so far.
Oof,
Someone
those are
someone putting
creamy.
someone putting a pulse bomb on a Pharah. Pulse bombing a Mercy right before she ults while in midair. But the one that we've seen so far that really is awesome was that Tivik, who's on Florida Mayhem, was going up against Libero on the New York Excel. They or on the Pharah, she shoots down at Tivik, who reflects the missile back right to Pharah and kills her. That's hard to do.
That makes my dream come true.
That is so
As a
hard to
guy who
do.
tried maining Genji and who has spent the entirety of his life in Overwatch hating Pharah, that
Hmm.
makes my heart smile.
Yes, it makes you
Brofist to you,
smile.
sir.
Brofist to you, Tivik. Now if you could only get some wins on your team. Anyways, speaking of Overwatch, there has been some speculation going around, including some teasers about Hero 27. Blizzard announced on the 22nd a cryptic teaser for Overwatch that some believe could reference a new hero named Emre Sarioglu. Sarioglu. Something like that. Sacre Bleu. Teaser takes the form of a declassified after action report from something called Operation White Dome. As explained in this text, Ana Amari, Ana Amari makes a report saying this as follows. Strike team under the command of myself, Captain Ana Amari. Sorry, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. That's bad. All right. The strike team was deployed to the outskirts of Istanbul, Turkey, to deal with the remaining pocket of Omnic resistance. Oh, that makes it much better. Personnel included Lieutenant Reinhard Wilhelm, Chief Engineer Torbjorn Lindholm, and Private First Class Emre Starioglu. After routine insertion, the team was ambushed, taking heavy fire from the entrenched Omnics. While the team was able to overcome and neutralize all hostile combatants without casualties, the battle resulted in serious injuries to Lindholm and lesser injury to Wilhelm. Had it not been for Wilhelm's timely intervention, it is likely that Lindholm would have been killed. Due to conspicuous bravery on the part of Lieutenant Wilhelm, I'm suggesting a commendation for his actions. And then there's a full report below, but we're not able to read it, sadly.
Hmm.
So that's a tease of a hero that's coming out. Now, shortly after that happened, there was a completely different thing that Blizzard shared. It was a story update for Torbjorn. Um, It's the most recent update to the story. Details a letter. It's not really spoilers. It's shared on social media. Wrote to his wife Ingrid from the hospital, promising her that all is well. From the letter, it appears this is the battle which he lost his arm. I know by now that you've gotten news of my injuries in our latest mission. While the descriptions may sound terrible, the doctors are quite sure I'll make a full recovery. Even Angela came to visit me, mercy, on the matter of my arm. I promise that to make it my first priority to construct a suitable prosthesis, or whatever it's called, that will make everyone forget that it was ever gone. If only Angela's dreams of tissue regeneration were a reality. I told her she should be working harder. Well, I think that
And just a little side note here: the fact that her name is Angela, I think, just put her at #1 on the waifu list in Overwatch. Just saying.
yeah. So 12 saying French confirmed. We have a Frenchie, maybe a coming to Overwatch soon. Oh, it could still be Canadian French though too. All right, you never know. It
Could be.
could be the first. Although I would rather see a Canadian come in with the eh. How you doing, eh?
Oh God,
Oh, sorry. Oh,
the
sorry. I blew you
memes,
up. I'm sorry.
the
Oh,
memes.
what's you going on about? Um, but
Yeah.
it's either French or Canadian. Whatever.
Yeah, I
It's
was struggling with that pronunciation. I'm like, I think it's amre, like it's like an A sound, and then like the G might be silent. Like I don't know French. That's one of my worst languages. But
I still say sacre bleu.
Sacre.
Sacre bleu.
Although Reinhardt's name, you disappoint me, Cabo. It's pronounced Wilhelm.
Wilhelm, I'm sorry.
Wilhelm.
At least I can do the accent. All
Yes, you
right.
can very well.
It hurts your throat though. But I'm hoping for this new hero to come soon. We've all I know in Three Goblins we speculated about it. Overwatch League we have speculated about it a little bit. We both ourselves have speculated on who it could possibly be. This sounds like an entirely new hero though. This is not anything. Um, I can do the accent. Shut up, corpse. I can do the accent. Don't
He can do
tell
it
me
better. Yeah.
what I can't do, you landlubber. What?
What?
I don't
He,
know.
I
I
mean,
can't do
he
the.
can do
I
it
can't
better
do
than
the.
me.
Let's have
Because
another.
you're a goblin. You gotta let gravel your voice, man. That really helps.
Well, I don't have a problem with the goblin, but when you like actually have to distort your voice for like an orc and even Reinhardt's, it's
It
yeah,
hurts.
it hurts. It does hurt. So, anyways, while I add Corpse Run Radio to my initial shit list, I'm kidding. But we got some information about Final Fantasy 15. Made a few people speculate something about Half-Life. The excruciating wait for a new Half-Life game carries on with no end in sight. If all you care about is seeing protagonist Gordon Freeman in a new setting, Final Fantasy 15 may be just the ticket, as Square Enix has announced a new limited time promotion involving the upcoming PC version of the game. Players who purchase Final Fantasy 15 Windows Edition, the RPG's PC version, through Steam by the end of April, will receive the Half-Life pack. This will be distributed through Steam Workshop and allows you to dress up as Freeman. There are three different components to this: the HEV suit itself, Freeman's glasses, and his signature crowbar, which can be used as a weapon. These items can be equipped in both single-player campaign, letting you deal with the bizarre sight of seeing the Final Fantasy 15 star Noctis cosplaying as Gordon Freeman, or in Comrades, the game's online multiplayer mode. You can see what it looks like right here. I'll show you a picture. You can take a look. There it is, the HEV suit. There, boom, 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 boom. If you purchase it before May 1st, you get it in the workshop. Really cool promotion opportunity for these guys, and adds on to hype train that there might be another Half-Life game coming in the future. There's a little hype added onto that. So, I personally have never played a Half-Life game. I know
Neither have I. We're
scrutinize
both
us
talking
both
about
as
the
you
hype,
want.
and neither of us have played them.
I know. Well, that's like most of the games on this list, but on this show. But there's a lot of people who are excited about Half-Life. It's been something that it's still one of the most popular games to ever play. So that's probably arguably that's Valve's most successful release. So people want an episode 3. They want something, or in general, just this is going to sate them, but it's also going to cause people to speculate more. So we'll see what happens. But be on the lookout. We probably won't get a Half-Life game, obviously this year, but we may get an announcement at E3. So Speculate now. If we get it announced, do you think if Valve wants to make a big thing, do you think they're going to talk about a Half-Life at all at E3 this year?
I think maybe not, because I think it's become such a meme that if they even mention it, it's gonna cause like a whoo, it's gonna cause a big kerfuffle. So I don't know. I feel like they would want to drop something like that just to see everyone, lose their minds over it. You know what I mean? Like when it's almost ready, like that's when they'll drop it. They won't, say it at E3 because like people will be expecting them to make that kind of announcement at E3. Is
I
what makes
mean,
the most sense.
they're
It's
going to
predictable.
if they're going to expect anything from E3, they're going to expect something about Counter-Strike. So that'll come out. But I still think if they want to pull uh, a humongous surprise, I wouldn't even say Final Fantasy VII, like the remake. Yeah, that was like a like oh my god, thank God. But it was like we were all like begging for it for years, so it was like a finally moment. Whereas
Right. It
I
was
think
predictable.
Half-Life 3 may actually get the same reaction that Shenmue 3 got when the Kickstarter was announced at E3 a few years ago. There's that one guy who lost his mind on the commentating panel. He literally like got up screaming like, "No, no way, no!" Like that's the bane of nerdism right there. It's just how much he loved that
Yep.
game. When you break down crying over a video game announcement, you love a game.
Well, I won't spoil this just yet, but there's a certain other release that may be coming out that I will have a similar reaction about, but we'll get to that in a little bit.
Is it speculation that might be coming out?
Yes.
Oh, I know which one it is already. I was originally going to say Dark Souls Remastered, but never mind. I think I know what
No,
you're
we've
talking
we've,
about.
we've talked about that already.
But you'll still like lose your mind over it a little
Of
bit.
course.
I mean, I'll get the damn game and
I
play it.
mean, I still think
So,
the original Dark Souls 1 is one of the best video games ever made, so a
oh yeah,
remaster of that with some polish,
yeah. Polish it
like,
up. There's a lot of remasters and remakes going on. Everyone's just getting on the hype train. I mean, granted, I'd like to see more original stuff, but like still, it's gonna happen. So Final Fantasy 15 will be coming out by May 1st. Get it here. If you have the 8K support to play it on max, more power to you, Terrell. Moving on.
he does.
We're gonna actually let's go into that. We're actually gonna do that speculation last because I think that's gonna take up most of the talking
Woo!
points. But we're gonna do some movie tracking for you guys. So, as you know, video game movies don't have a great rap, as we have
Oh boy,
both talked
this
about
talk
before.
again.
Assassin's Creed, the movie, what happened? Warcraft, the movie, while I enjoyed it, and I actually bought the movie, so I have it
Right,
now.
well, I mean, it had some of the best visuals, and it was one of the most entertaining things to watch ever. The CGI was amazing, and the orcs were great, but yeah.
Yeah, the orcs were phenomenal. The humans, eh. Uh,
Oh, humans were to the
no,
max.
I mean the armor looked amazing. The beautiful armor made, the costume design in that whole movie was phenomenal. Um,
Mhm.
if they make a sequel, I don't know if they actually will. I would
Don't.
like them.
They're not gonna.
They're not going to. You don't think
No, they're
so?
not gonna.
Is
They
that
got way too much backlash from the first one.
not from China? China loved it.
China loved it, but
I would say
most
this:
other
if you
people
make a
didn't.
sequel, just make it in your cinematics department. Don't make it with a, or just make a whole different cinematics department. Have them take care of it, like with the Overwatch series we want. Okay,
Oh yeah.
like
Oh,
do that.
oof. Those are quality.
Those are quality. We want those. Having said that, we have a couple updates on 3 films that are being projected to come out at some point either this year, next year, or sometime in the future. First up, we have an update on Uncharted, which as you did I just close it? No, I didn't. Okay, I minimized it. Cool. Never mind. Movies based on Naughty Dog's Uncharted and the second game, The Last of Us, is another one that's been added in. They are in the works, but as often in the case of Hollywood, they aren't progressing very quickly. Naughty Dog's lead Neil Druckmann sat down with 10 Cloverfield Lane director Dan Trachtenberg at the DICE Summit today in Las Vegas for a conversation. This was on the 21st, by the way, about storytelling. Naturally, the question came up about how the Uncharted and Last of Us movies are coming along. Duckman said Naughty Dog has had some conversations with director Sean Levy. Sean Levy. He's the guy who directs Stranger Things. Oh, if he's behind that, if he's behind that, that would be amazing.
And
I'm
I am
sorry.
probably the only person on the planet who's not seen Stranger Things.
No, you should see it. It's really good. Um, And he also has done Night at the Museum. So if you've seen that, it's a fun movie.
That was a fun watch, yeah.
A person Druckmann says really gets into it and understands where it's at. He does. If you watch him in interviews, he's very into it. He went on to say that Naughty Dog's feelings towards the film adaptation of Uncharted has evolved over the years. We used to just be excited. Oh my God, movies are looking at us. There could be an Uncharted movie on the screen, and then as more time passes on, we're not excited about a direct adaptation of the story we told because we felt like we've already told that story very well cinematically. They have, so I don't know what else you could expect. But then Spider-Man actor Tom Holland, who is confirmed to play a young Nathan Drake in the Uncharted movie, Levi's Uncharted movie will not be a direct adaptation of any of the four main games, as most Hollywood movies are apparently, but instead is expected to fill in the gaps with the younger Drake. Beyond that, however, we don't know any more plot details about Uncharted. Now, having said that, a much anticipated sequel to they actually didn't go too much into Last of Us that much. Um Actually no, not much at all, but we do know that that's apparently being planned as well. So, um excitement? I'll say
Yeah,
I am a little more excited when I heard Sean Levy was a part of it. A little more excited about that. But still, I don't think I don't know how I feel about Last of Us. I still have to play it first, and I don't have on PS3. I've only played one Uncharted game. The reason I actually started playing two. The reason I haven't continued with it is because I was upset about the spoiler zombie part of the first game. Um, but and I expected it in Last of Us because it is about an apocalypse, so that makes more sense. However, I'm a little more I'm a little excited about an Uncharted movie because it fits. I would say it would fit for that to become a movie. Last of Us would kind of fit to become a movie. That's understandable. Sonic the Hedgehog, on the other hand, how does that
Jesus.
fit?
Oh God, no, it's Mario all over again.
Sonic the Hedgehog will star in a feature film set to debut next year, according to the franchise publisher Sega and producing partner Paramount Pictures. The movie is expected to hit on theaters November 15th, 2019. They have a date. They have a freaking date. This has apparently been in development before the Mario movie. Huh?
I
Oh,
mean, it would
apparently.
make a little bit more sense for Sonic because I feel like, we've seen the Sonic crew have a bit more personality in other settings, whereas Mario and Luigi and friends have always been silent protagonists and antagonists. You know what I mean?
Well, Sonic started as a silent protagonist, and eventually, over time, um, he's become a speaker. Even Steve Urkel himself has voiced Sonic at one point.
Steve Urkel.
Jaleel White has voiced Sonic at one point.
Wow, that's
So
amazing.
it's kind of scary thought when you think about it, but he did all right version of it. I don't know. Like I there was an anime series of Sonic for a little bit that was kind of cool, but I'm worried because every production of Sonic for the past few years, with the exception of the team that did Terrell, if you're still there, you'll remind me of the game it was. They did a different uh it was a different studio who did a certain game by Sonic, and that one was actually really good. But the Sonic team who's been putting out all these Sonic games recently have not been doing that great. And with Sonic Forces being panned, it just solidifies a little more that like this is being more disappointing than actually satisfying. And apparently, Terrell does not have the cash for an 8K monitor.
How much would that cost anyway?
I have no idea. Sonic Mania, that's what it is. That's the one.
Mania.
A different studio made that, but
Manina?
he meant Mania. Um,
Okay.
but I don't know. It's the whole Mario movie all over again. Like we there's a Mario movie coming out that's being rebooted that's going to be animation, which we are worried about.
Uh, I mean, the fact that the original existed is bad enough, but let it be. Don't remaster it. Don't bring it back. Just let it be. Sonic, I can almost understand, but are we running out of movie ideas? I mean,
I
Black Panther
guess.
just came out, and that was apparently I haven't seen it yet. That's apparently amaze balls. I'm like, why are we busting out Sonic and Mario movies in the same world as like the Black Panther tier? You know what I mean?
Well, then don't release it at the same time, obviously. That would be
Right.
overkill
Looks
for
even
you.
worse by comparison.
But I mean, yeah, from Black Panther, I still have to see it. And I've heard so many good things about it. It's a very different feel for a superhero movie, though, is from what I heard.
Yeah,
So,
it's interesting. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna jump on any hype trains. I'll reserve judgment for when I see it. But yeah, I've heard nothing but good things.
but as Terrell just said, people need to do reboots apparently. So,
Uh,
that's why we have
The thing, yeah.
that's why we have Final Fantasy VII being rebooted. That's why we have many TV shows being rebooted. We have another edition of Full House out.
Fuller House. That came out a few
Fuller
years ago.
House.
Yeah, that was when I first started college. I want to say is when that came out. That
Yeah.
was interesting.
Um, you've also got like old TV shows that are being done on Netflix, like Full House. They also had Gilmore Girls has a new one out. Um, a whole bunch of other stuff. It's just guys, make original stuff. Like Stranger Things. All right? That's influenced by older stuff. All right? Just because you liked something back in the day doesn't mean you have to remake it over again. Just do something that's influenced by it. Don't make
Right.
something
Or take an idea that has been done and do it better.
that's what their idea is on a remake though. So,
No, a remake is a rehash. What I'm thinking is take a concept that's been done, but just put a different spin on it and make it different than what it has been. Same foundation, different toys, you know. Same
yeah.
cake, different sprinkles.
Yeah. Although one cool thing actually no, that's not video game. Um, of all three of these movies though, I know it's a video game movie. It's ugh, why are we talking about it? Of all the three, what would you be most excited to see that we've
What
talked
was it?
about?
What
So
was it? Mario
Uncharted,
remake,
we had
Sonic, and
no 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 no
Uncharted?
no no no, no the one we're talking about. Uncharted, Last of Us, and Sonic. Which of those would you be most excited to see?
Probably Last of Us,
Okay.
but I'm not super excited for any of them, but I would probably say Last of Us. And that's only because that's just a game I've heard, well, we can discount Sonic right off the bat. So it's basically between Uncharted and Last of Us. Last of Us is something I've probably heard a lot more about. What? What?
There's
What?
some people who like Sonic. I still, as a
I respect Sonic.
character,
He's
I
one of the most fun
liked it.
heroes in Super Smash Bros.
Yeah, he had a
You ever
like
play?
the start of the 3D generation. He actually had decent games, and then they just took a turn. I'm
Oh yeah.
excited for Uncharted just because I want to see how they spin a young Nathan Drake and how he acts. I still think Nathan Fillion would have been an awesome Nathan Drake, though. Oh
He's
my
great.
God, he would have been amazing.
He's got
Two,
such a personality. I love him.
I don't know. I don't know if he'd actually do it now, but like still. And Bowser's greater than all, of course.
Bowser's
So
overall.
yeah. All right.
Disagreements.
So
Okay.
we're on this speculation of remasters. We're on the speculation of rehashes. Okay, yes, we get it. We get it. Everything's being remade nowadays. But we have some speculation that we want to talk about. Specifically, why a 16-year-old game is getting a new patch and an invitational tournament. AJ's already excited about it. He already wants to talk about it.
I'm already praising the sun here.
We're
I mean,
talking
it's
about
probably not.
we're talking about My Little Pony. No, we're not talking about My Little Pony. We're talking about Warcraft 3. So we covered this on Three Goblins last week, but we did say that there was for some reason, a lot of Twitch streamers, championship, Warcraft, original Warcraft like competitors, they were getting invited to a special event at Blizzard. So we finally found out that it is an invitational tournament that's coming out. Now, granted, this can be for a variety of things. This doesn't guarantee that we're getting a remaster. This doesn't guarantee that we're getting a sequel. This doesn't even guarantee that anything's being added to the game. All we know is stuff has been done, and we both like speculating. So we're gonna speculate on what could possibly happen. All right. So starting out, Warcraft 3, Blizzard's real-time strategy game from 2002, is getting a brand new patch. 1.29 has been released on public test realm and includes a balance change for heroes and 16:9 widescreen support and updates to the map pools. But a patch to a 16-year-old game isn't real news here. In fact, Blizzard last updated Warcraft 3 in 2017. What's potentially more interesting is the installation process for the strategy game itself, and Blizzard's plans to promote Warcraft 3's latest update. User art underscore EZ on the World of Warcraft subreddit pointed out that the installing Warcraft 3 will open a new launcher, similar to that of the current Battle.net launcher. Polygon was able to replicate this by installing Warcraft 3 The Frozen Throne. According to Wowhead, this launcher was previously used only to update the game, while the installer was still legacy. The change in style has the community thinking that Warcraft 3 could be integrated into Blizzard's Battle.net client. There is also widespread hope that this new installer could herald the long speculated Warcraft 3 remaster, akin to the StarCraft remaster that Blizzard released last year. And further increased speculation, Blizzard recently announced a Warcraft 3 invitational tournament to be held at this week, the 27th through the 28th, hosted by casters Neo and Remo of Back to Warcraft. Join them February 27, 28 on Twitch for a slew of special events, including free-for-alls, 4v4s, and other friendly competitions. Well-known Warcraft 3 competitors from all around the world will be getting together live at Blizzard headquarters to showcase their talents in friendly competition. So, time to speculate. I know you're ready.
Well,
I know you're ready.
well, my knee-jerk reaction and the cynical Brit in me thinks that it's just because Blizzard has been all about the esports recently, and anything that they can make popular and put into the limelight, they're gonna do.
Mhm.
Because let's face it, Warcraft 3 is an amazing game, fantastic game, extremely popular. It's a fan favorite, as they're saying in chat. But and they would want to update it. If they're gonna bring it to like a main stage in modern competitive, era esports. Then
Yeah.
yeah, they got to bring some updates to it. They got to do some kind of balance because let's face it, any game that's 16 years old is not balanced by any means, but they got to do some balance tweaks. They got to give it some, like widescreen support and stuff like that, just so it's easier to stream. But I think another reason that they would want to remaster is because, plain and simply, it's a fan favorite.
Yeah.
It was such a good. I think I will still say that after 16 years, it still holds up incredibly well. Is it like, yeah, the animation is extremely derpy
Oof.
looking, but I think there's a certain stylizedness about it.
Yeah.
And the way it tells the
There's
story, the way it
yeah.
teaches you the basics of RTS and how to play, I'm hyped. I
I
think
loved
while it doesn't need a remaster, I'm still looking forward to it.
I loved the tutorial part of that game. Like where you had the one of the developers come over and tell you how to go through it. Like
Yeah,
it
the
wasn't like
narrator.
it wasn't like an actor, like any like some guy who was like, "Ah, here's how we going to play Warcraft 3." It wasn't anyone like that. It was a straight developer that just came out and said, "Hi, I'm going to tell you how to do this gameplay." I was like, "Huh, this is actually kind of a
Yeah.
different feel
See,
to it." Because if you try League of Legends in tutorial mode, it's the what's her name? An ally has been slain. That lady. All right.
I don't remember.
That lady comes over and like does the tutorial with you. Heroes of the Storm, it's just basically like a story-based tutorial. Overwatch, it's
Target
Athena.
dummies.
Athena coming over and giving you a tutorial. This one was just a um it was just a developer, and I thought that was kind of a little personal feel to it. It was like
Yeah.
some guy coming in, it's like, all right, here, let me show you how you're going to play this game to help you out. So
Yeah, and there was no nothing here is going to attack. It was literally the game as it would be with all of his controls right in front of you. He was literally telling you what to do as if he was standing over your shoulder. It
yeah,
was great. And like when I went back a couple years ago and played it, at first I'm like, is that Ian Hazacostas? But I'm like, nah, he wasn't there at the time.
no,
you
no, that
know,
would not be Ian. He's
no, it wouldn't be. But it has similar type of smooth operator kind of voice.
similar, but it was very well done, and like the cinematic elements of it, whereas storytelling, introduction of characters, there's still memorable scenes from that. That's how I knew. Like I had never played World of Warcraft at the time, so I was not able to. This is actually probably even before WoW came out, is when I got a first dip into Warcraft 3 from my cousin Zooted. He he showed me the game. He told me how to set it up. I went and started playing. The first person I saw was Maev in the entire game to play, which interesting choice. But then I saw I was like, whoa, who's that buff guy with these like horns and a blindfold and has these war paint? Who is that? That guy looks sickening. I want to be that guy. He's like, oh, that's
So
Illidan.
you played Frozen Throne first.
Yeah, I played Frozen Throne first, and then I actually bought the game myself. Played through the intro campaign with Thrall, which still love that storyline. Um,
Oh,
but you got to see Rexar. You got to meet
Love that.
Vol'jin, you got to meet Rokon, you got to meet Gromash, you got all these characters that just introduced. And then when I played World of Warcraft and saw all these similar characters, I'm like, oh, I remember them.
You got
I remember
such a
all
special
of them.
feeling in your
Um,
tummy when you saw them in WoW for the first time. It
yeah,
was amazing.
not necessarily Sylvanas though, because she had the old model. But
Blah.
like, I walked up and I was like, oh, it's a night elf. Okay. And then when they finally updated, I was like, oh, she looks so much better. Thank you.
Yeah.
So,
Or like speaking of Night Elves, when I saw Tyrande and Malfurion, I'm like, oof. And then
oof.
when their models got updated, oof.
hmm They looked a
Yeah.
lot better when they got updated. Like
And
all of
then
them look a lot better when they're updated.
when some Horde players invaded the capital and Tyrande started casting Starfall, oof. Because that was her level 6 move in Warcraft 3 was Starfall. And I'm like,
hmm
yeah.
Yep, that was gonna hurt. Um, but yeah, it has a special place in our heart because it's if without that, saga of games, we would not have World of Warcraft. Also, without Diablo, we wouldn't have World of Warcraft. That fused the two genres together in a way. Because in Diablo, you only had a solo player experience, whereas in Warcraft, you had the whole RTS experience. So you fuse those together, you got World of Warcraft, which became the behemoth that it currently is still to this game. And I remember like playing on Twitch, someone like saw me playing WoW. It's like, haha, dead game. Really? Are you sure it's a dead game? It's been here since
Yeah.
2004. It still has a very high player base, despite it being lower than it's been. It's also the
Yeah.
current only of the MMOs. There's only one other MMO that has a subscription based, and that's Final Fantasy 14. They're
And
not near it.
I mean, they're closest rivals, but still not near. Like I think
Yeah,
at WoW's lowest, like in like mid-late Warlords when there was only a few million people subbed, they were still beating Final Fantasy, if I'm not mistaken. It
yeah.
was very close, but like, that says something to be that kind of a behemoth.
And say what you want about, oh, it's not as great as vanilla. It's not going to be vanilla anymore unless you play the classic version, okay? And even then, it won't be vanilla anymore.
You'll never because part of vanilla was the newness, experiencing all that for the first time. Half of the
Yeah.
magic, if not more than half of the magic, was the fact that you were seeing it all for the first time.
hmm Which is why it has a special place in everyone's heart because we've already experienced it. We've already like enjoyed it. We had that nostalgia buff. So it's not going to be the same. However, I mean, if you want to play the classic, it's going to be there for you eventually. But instead of like with this whole like this especially like only those people who feel that way instead of the mindset no we need to go back to all that the old days, just look forward to what we're looking for ahead of time. Like granted there's going to be some story excerpts we're not going to go into that I wish had a different change, but it just shows that it's all a big soap opera, okay? Especially nowadays it's all a big soap opera is all it is. So they got to figure out a way to keep it going until they finally decide, whenever they decide it, that they're eventually going to either end the storyline or come up with something else. And then
Right.
what would the sequel be after that? Would it be another World of Warcraft, or
No.
would it be Warcraft 4? So, what
Like
would it be? We
can
don't
you
know.
imagine? Can you imagine like the epic? Like, there's so many good stories to tell left in WoW. Can you imagine taking some of the epic like end game, story elements and placing them in an RTS setting? You got all these units on these vast battlefields. Like that's what I love. One of the many things I love about Warcraft 3 is the bajillions of different environments you went to. And
hmm
then in the Frozen Throne, when you went to Outland and saw all that, so like imagine what they can do in like modern era technology in an RTS, like the places they can send you to, the units they can give you control of. You know, I get a little nerd boner when talking about Warcraft 4 speculation.
Not to mention, you also got Dota and LoL, which Terrell said from Warcraft 3. Like,
Yeah,
if
Dota
it.
2 was Dota was a mod for Warcraft 3 back in the
hmm
day.
Yeah. It's a BattleNet map, and it just, and now because how big it is, stems from Warcraft 3. So the fact that they're doing this tournament is going to be humongous hype about it. So
Oh yeah, totally.
even if you're not in the esports scene, um, if you're not in the esports scene, like you're hearing about this is important. Like it's like whoa, this is huge because like what we just did, we speculated on what could also happen, but at the same time it should be more of like, we're going back to play a game that we all loved and that we all get to see again in a little more polished view. And I would also say it is very possible for World of Warcraft 3 to be remastered, especially since StarCraft was just remastered. Not to mention, you can go back and play the actual original StarCraft unremastered for free. You can buy the remastered version if you want. You can even play StarCraft 2 for free. And I mean, this just hypes me up even more for another Warcraft 3 release.
There was actually, I want to say, a mod floating around that kind of made it was called Armies of Azeroth, that kind of made the Warcraft 3 experience, but then like a Heroes of the Storm type of engine. Let's see if I can find the uh video here. There we go. Here's Armies. It's a video Nixium posted a year and a half or so ago. Armies of Azeroth is a mod for StarCraft 2 that recreates the entire Warcraft 3 multiplayer experience in high def. So I'll just link that in chat
Wow.
just to give people an idea. This was like 2 years ago. This isn't new, but
It was
like
running
just
on
the
Unreal Engine or something.
I don't know,
That's what
but
Terrell was saying or something.
like just the idea of seeing the potential they have with like updated graphics engines for Warcraft 3. Don't get me wrong, nothing will ever beat OG Warcraft 3 for me. I'm a nostalgia nerd, but yeah, I can definitely see them doing a really great things with an updated engine for that.
Yeah. Oh, I would love to see. I wonder like how they would update like the characters and stuff. Like, would they just use the same character? I mean, obviously they're gonna use the same character models and all that, but I feel like they could just polish them up a little more. Cause, whew, Jaina looks
Yeah,
rough. Ooh.
yeah. Also, Corpse Run is saying in the chat, how are they going to go on? How is it going to translate to the big screen with the Warcraft 3 graphics? Part of the new patch is like widescreen
It is
support, so it
widescreen now.
actually,
Yeah, we just we
yep,
covered it. It's
16
going to
by
be
9.
16 by 9, which also allows a better resolution. Um, but I mean, it's true. It's how is it going to look well with uh the actual thing. You won't be able to play Garrosh or Cho'Gall though. Maybe Nah, they weren't in Warcraft 3. So
No,
no, Garrosh. I don't even think. Well,
he was alive. It wasn't
he was
there.
alive, but we weren't able to go to Draenor yet, or Outlands,
No.
excuse me. Um, but it's gonna be interesting to like watch this. We'll keep track of it this week and tell you guys about. I'm gonna watch it at some point. You might watch it. I think you definitely will watch it actually.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, so hopefully there's a Warcraft 3 remaster in the future. Anything Warcraft related, I'm excited about. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, any anything else you want to speculate on this or talk about before we move
No, I think we're good.
Oh, you drove out that long enough. Oh,
I don't
Cho'Gall
know. I
was in
thought we had
Warcraft
something
2. Warcraft 2 Cho'Gall.
extremely briefly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah.
Well, having said that, that is a good way to close out the show, I think. So, wait,
I would
what?
have to
What?
agree.
Oh, I thought we had something else. I was like, what? Why are you doing that? Um,
Nah.
it went by quick because of that last topic. It was like, hype.
Yeah.
Um, guys, so if you would like to interact with us in any way about anything that we talk about on the show, or you'd like to recommend article for us to talk about, or a topic to talk about on the show, you can do so by doing many different methods. First, you can interact to both of us on Twitter, or our podcast. You can interact with me on Twitter personally at Cavo350. You can interact with AJ at AJ9Lives with two S's, um, with a 9 in the middle of AJ and 9, or Lives. And you can also follow the podcast at Patch Day Podcast on Twitter, where you just send us anything really. So like if you have a question for the show, or if you'd like to talk about a news topic, like I just said, link it to us. We'll talk about it on the show. You can also send us an email to patchdaypodcast@gmail.com. And you can visit our website at patchday.podomatic.com and find us on iTunes. Just look for Patch Day, the
Where we
weekly.
also got our first ever review.
We did get a review. We did cover it last week. You could be the second review, guys. You could be the second review in the history of Patch Day. All right? Even if it's a 1 star. But we'd like a 5 star. It'd be nice. It'd be nice. So, we will be back next week on Sunday, hopefully at the regular time, as long as everything cooperates with us. It'll be great. Anything else you'd like to plug real quick, AJ, before we get on out of here?
Mario movies are dumb.
Oh my. Although, Tomb Raider movie next month. That's coming. So I am excited about that, though. So I kind of want to look forward to that. I want to see Lara kick some ass. So,
yeah.
Until then, guys, that's all from us. For AJ, for myself, and for all the Bachachas community. We'll see you guys next time. Logging off. Bye now.